Morning. When I decided to talk about this, someone said to me, do you not agree with labels? And I do, I wholeheartedly agree with labels because they can give the child so much more support than they would probably get without it. But what I think we also need to remember is that every child is unique and labels are so broad that we need to get to know the child instead of just their label. It's like on occasions when you can talk to someone and you're introduced to the label, then you get to be introduced to the child. It's like, oh, this child's dyslexic. Um, and then they tell you about the child themselves. He's a lovely child, works very, very hard, but does struggle with the spellings, rather than kind of like going, this is Bob, he's a lovely child and works very, very hard, does struggle with his spellings, but he is dyslexic and he's dyslexic and okay, so it's kind of like the positioning of the label is giving the child the priority, not the label. For example, I've worked over the years with so many different children with so many different labels, and they've all learnt differently. They're all completely unique individuals in themselves. For a lot of children, prior to getting the label, their confidence has often been very, very low because um, as far as they're concerned, as far as the class is concerned, they're just the naughty child. It's not, it's just they're distracted because they're not able to do the thing on that they've been set without additional support or having it explained more slowly, step by step, or having it a scribe or something for them. So it's about getting to know the child. And for one child, it may be that I can read the words, but actually getting pen to paper is my struggle. Whereas for other children, it may be that they can't read the words in the first place, or even before they've got to reading the words, their brain has drifted off elsewhere and they're more fascinated by the fly that's buzzing on the windowsill than they are by what the teacher's actually explaining that they should be doing right now. So labels give us a snapshot into the child. They don't give us the child as a whole. I had a tutor that works with me, really, really nice bloke, and he'd been working with her for a few months. And then he discovered that she was dyscalculia. And he instantly got in touch, said, I don't think I can work with her because I've never worked with a dyscalculia child before. And like I said, but you've made such significant progress. You're happy, the mum's happy. Nothing has really changed. It's more important that we get to know the child and support the child rather than the label. Oh, okay, I'll give it a go. And they've been working together now for months, and both are very, very happy. More importantly, the child's happy because getting to know her as an individual, they've made such huge progress. So we need to acknowledge the label, but we need to embrace the child. So it's not that labels are useless. They and assessment shouldn't happen at all, but because labels can open doors to our understanding of the child, they can help to make adults more compassionate more towards the child. But they sometimes the child, which can be seen as naughty or just not concentrating or not trying hard enough, once they've been given an excuse, they the teacher's much more forgiving towards them. They understand that actually it's not that child. There's a reason that I need to sit down and spend more time with them. So uh, what what I think I'm really trying to say is that labels are needed. They, especially in a group where there's either more people and the child is easily distracted because they can't have the time from the teacher to sit one to one and sort something out. They didn't get it first time when the teacher is having to rush through it. In exams, it can get them additional time. In job situations, it can help them ensure that certain accommodations are put aside for them. But we need to be also careful that there isn't a low expectation of them because of a label, because sometimes children will internalize an idea. There was a lad I used to work with, and the parents wanted him to go to a specific school because they didn't want him to catch the school bus to the other school. And their way of getting him there was to say that he was autistic. Prior to the labeling, I'd worked with him for 2 or 3 years. You would never ever have known that, though he just seemed like a very young child. but he was only 6 at the time, trying to get him, no, year 6, sorry, trying to get him into secondary school. After the label, they seem to embrace it. And a lot of comments were made by one of the parents about how most people don't have a son like hers, and how much more difficult it is to have when you've got a son like hers. And it seemed to smother the child's opportunities. And so I think we do need to see the child and not the label, and not the label. We can't set low expectations. We need to use them as an acknowledgement that we may need to present what we're teaching them in a different way. And so, yeah, I hope that didn't come across as patronizing or anything else. It was meant purely that we just need to acknowledge that there is a child behind this label, or there is a label behind this child. And when we're working with a child, we need to support them and give them the best support that we can, but get to know the child before we get to know the label. And don't just presume that if we've worked with one child before that's got a label like that, that every child we work with in the future that has that same label is going to be exactly the same as the first child that we worked with, because we are all unique individuals. And I think at the end of the day, that's what's important, whether we have several labels or no labels, we are all unique. Take care and have a great day. And I hope that there was something in there that made sense and was helpful.